Live. I'm live. I'm trying the live thing out, see how it goes. I received an email from the Premier, but he'd asked Tina M. Hall to pass this on to me. So on December 23rd, 2016, dear Mr. Lohnes, our e-store closures on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I am in receipt of your December 10th, 2016 correspondence addressed to Premier McNeil and the other party leaders. Premier McNeil has asked me to respond on his behalf. You have requested government call the legislature into session to legislate store closures on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Both the Retail Business Uniform Closing Day Act and the Retail Business Designated Closing Day Act govern the operation of retail businesses in Nova Scotia and set out the rules regarding designated days for required closure of retail businesses and allow exceptions. These may be available, and there's a link into the legislature. While we appreciate that some may support the closure of retail businesses on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, this may be balanced with the reality that many retail businesses and accordingly their employees rely on sales during these last days of the year to sustain their businesses. We believe that current sales are adequate to achieve this balance. Thank you for bringing your viewpoint forward, Tina M. Hall, for the Premier of Nova Scotia. Seriously? A balance? The balance was at 5, and it was at 6 o'clock on New Year's Eve, and now Walmart open till 8. That's not a balance. They're taking from us. There are good many occupations that have the whole week off before Christmas and to New Year's, and we're only asking the government to step in and legislate 4 o'clock closures. Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, shut her down. Let employees have some time home. We're people too. We breathe the same air you do. We walk the same walk. We do all these things you do. Pay taxes just like you do. We all deserve that. And, your business may not have been open this Christmas Eve that is gone. I don't know. Oh, I am. Your business may not have been closed, have been open at that time, but Walmart was. There are brothers and sisters in retail, so once one company starts it, then others will follow suit next year, and it's not right. We should have a downtime. You have 365 days a year to shop for Christmas. We're not garbage on the roadside. We're people too, and we're people too. We deserve that. And this is the response I got from the Premier of Nova Scotia. Seriously, I'll scan it and put it on there after. It's like we're garbage. I mean, if we were teachers, I can guarantee you the Premier of Nova Scotia would be there for us. But means we're retail workers, oh, the heck with them guys, let them work. When they wanted that February holiday, who did they want support from? Was us, retail workers. Yeah, us. But means they got Christmas and New Year's off? They don't care. They don't need us. But you might need us when it comes time to vote. I think what we should be all doing is getting together and fighting this, because we're people too. I mean, teachers don't put up with it. Why are you putting up with it? You are people. You got families. I know one lady over in the UK. They were fighting for Boxing Day. I imagine fighting for Boxing Day off, and people got the whole week off. A lot of people do, and retail workers got to fight for a couple days off, Christmas Eve and a couple days off. Like we're not human beings, and we are. People should be able to be free and go on and speak and talk, and not be scared to talk. Did you know the Charter of Rights is for all Canadians? Yes. Imagine that. And it doesn't say not including retail workers. It's for all Nova Scotians. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, if you work at a movie theater, you should have Christmas Day off, Christmas Eve off, New Year's off, Canada Day, our birthday. You should have these off because you're a Canadian. You're part of the community just like us. If you're in a government office, you're a part of the community. We are all Canadians. All Canadians. And there's no reason why that something can't be done. The Premier can come in and legislate it. Would you believe this? I only heard from the Premier. I did not hear from Jamie Bailey. I did not hear from Gary Burhill, NDP leader. I did not hear from any of them except the Premier. This is garbage. The Retail Uniform Act doesn't protect any retail worker from working Christmas Eve. They could be open till midnight. Imagine that. And people got the whole day off on Christmas Eve. And I believe we deserve it. We all work hard in retail. You know, closing the stores at 4 o'clock is not reasonable. I mean, the Premier's saying about sales, well, we have 365 days in a year for businesses to make sales. What about us? You know, we vote for these guys, and when we need their help, we're not there. Oh, and guess what? News 95.7, and I must say, I'm bragging them up. They interviewed me on the station, and I appreciate it. But the Bridgewater Bulletin and the Halifax Herald printed my letter, but the TV media would not touch it. Imagine. They would not touch it. And it's an issue because I know a lot of people were upset. And like I say, Walmart workers, they are our brothers and sisters. Whether you had to work on Christmas Eve or not, some of them in Walmart did. They're my brothers and sisters. They're your brothers and sisters. You know what? We're better together than be divided. To be divided, imagine being divided. But this is the way these businesses like it. I know when I fought Sunday shopping, and I learned a lot. I had it thrown at my face a good many times that, well, someone in Burger King's got to work. What's wrong with you? Or somebody in the movie theater's got to work. What's wrong with you? And you know, I wish I would have known what I know today back then, because we were being scammed. All these people that work these occupations, for one, I've always worked it, but I don't believe they should be working it. And number two, they have a right to lobby government. That's right. If you work in a movie theater and you think government offices and your MLA and your Premier has these holidays and these Sundays off, well, you're entitled to them too. Why aren't you? Why are you any different because you work in a theater and at a restaurant? You can buy a burger the day before. You can buy your gas the day before. Why are people so down on people for wanting time with their families? It's all about money. Did you know internet is a basic thing now? Yeah. Internet. Everybody should have it. It's a basic right. Well, what about the human right to be with your family? Is that such a dirty word? I don't care if you're in New York, if you're in Boston, or if you're out west. You're a human being. You work in the store. Big deal. Well, you should have those rights. Our Premier had no right to write this to me. This is garbage. You got it off, Stephen McNeil. You have it off, you and your cabinet. And I don't begrudge you of it. But don't begrudge families in retail that work hard all year round to being with their families. There's no protection, workers' protection. There's nothing there for us. And I mean, they call the legislature back for a teacher. Do you have to be a teacher? Seriously, do you have to be a teacher to get something done? Well, you know, folks, I'm not good with these live things. I mean, I'm better hit on getting interviewed with Rick Howe and some of the news media. I'm better at that. But giving speeches, well, you know, I admit I kind of suck. I'm not the best. But I want to try this live video out. I'm very disappointed in the TV media. This shows you how the corporations run this country. I seen on Q104 Facebook site a lot of people upset over this Christmas Eve thing. A lot are talking about it. A lot are talking about it on the Nova Scotia Unfiltered site, and some are even saying bring back our Sundays. But would you see that on CTV, CBC, Global? No, because they are run by the corporations. I seen less significant stories on the media, but none of this. We used to be working at a store. Hey, we don't matter. We're just garbage by the roadside. You know something? Just because a lot of us don't have the education as some of you do, it doesn't mean we shouldn't have family time. It should be a basic human right for all Canadians. And I wish more people would hop in there and support me and say, hey, you know, that old fella got a point. We should be doing more of this, live videos. We should be doing more communications. And I'm communicating with you today and say, hey, if you work in retail and you're letting people crap on you, then they're going to keep crapping on you. They're not going to treat you like a human being. And I don't care if you're a teacher. I don't care if you're an MLA. I don't care if you're a counselor. You ain't no better than anybody else. And yes, some people got to work. Nurses, doctors. I had an operation in the hospital, and they were darn good to me. Was I the best of patient? No, but you know what? I had the best of care. But that's an essential service. And I can guarantee you, I heard that thrown at my face. It's an essential service. What makes you any better? You know what? I don't hear these things being said to a government worker. I don't hear these things said to a bank employee. It's just everything to a retail worker. Think about it. All this was to make us feel guilty, so we should be there to serve people 24/7. And it shouldn't be. We are human beings. We walk the same paths as you do. We pay taxes like you do. And I don't care if you flip burgers, you work at a movie theater, or at Tim's. Oh yes, God forbid, close Tim's for a holiday. Why not? You can get a coffee the day before. Seriously. These are people too. They wait on you all year. They work hard. Let them celebrate Candace's birthday. Why do they have to work? Why are they any less important than what you are? This is my point. This is what my message is going to be in 2017. I'm not going to give up. And it's not just for Nova Scotia, it's for retail workers of the world. We deserve more. We deserve to be treated better. And one last thing before I go, Remembrance Day. Think about it. People died for us. And we close, Nova Scotia closes. It's not a paid holiday. That's another topic. But they don't close for Tim Hortons. They don't close for movie theaters. But they died for all of us. People went in wars and died for all of us, and these people in movies and theaters and coffee shops, they got to work on the day that we're supposed to be remembering them that died for us. Now, seriously, people, stuff like that. There's a lot of things that are necessary that shouldn't even be open on certain times. Treat people fairly. And that's all I'm saying. And that's my message to all of you. And I want to wish you all a happy new year. I hope the Nova Scotia government, when they get in this legislature season, when they get together, that they do something about this Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. We are people too. And I hope that the TV media will wake up and say, hey, you know, those guys in stores are people too. Maybe we should let them have a word or two instead of letting the corporations control us. And they're controlling you. They're playing mind games. They played occupations off against one another, and it's wrong. I want to wish everybody a happy new year from Save Our Sundays, and I hope you have a great day. And if you want to forward this video, please do. All the best.